Hey guys, welcome back. It is Wednesday again, and Ellie begged me if we could do a stitch with me instead today. So here we are. I'm working on Riley's Avengers, just filling in the 310. And Ellie's working on the Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler that she started last week. She finished the first emblem, she's now moved on to like the baby blue colour for the second one. Ow. Yeah, it does creak. You get used to it after a while. You've just pulled it straight through, haven't you, Wally? Don't pull it all through, just pull a slight bit through. Push your needle back down and then pull the end to the side with your needle so you can see. Alright, not then. It's been a crazy week this week. We've had lots of emails, lots of phone calls from both schools. I understand what they're saying. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, we didn't enter into this decision to keep them off school lightly. So yeah, we'll just seeing how it goes for now with everyone back at school. Kind of getting a bit of feedback from the schools. And then we'll see. On another note, Tyler, his hamster, she's such a nightmare, man. My hamster was never like that. She permanently wants out of the cage. She hates going away. Even if it's, like she's been out for a couple of hours and she's probably exhausted and worn out, she still doesn't like to go away. What we decided was we'd get another cage with some tubes, because he's already got one cage with tubes. We connect the tubes from one cage to the other, so she's always got, an extra space. And over the next few weeks we're going to try and get some little hamster toys, put them in the new cage, because we've kept the new cage completely empty apart from sawdust or shavings, whatever you want to call them, of course. And then the tubes will lead to the new one, where she will have toys that she can play with, and little climbing things and stuff. So yeah, me and Tyler, we've had some great fun this morning. Tyler was ready to throw it out the window because when you connect the tubes, you've got these little rubber connectors that go between the two pieces. Trying to get them onto the tube was just, oh my days. He'd give up, he'd give it me, I'd give it a go. And when you're trying to force something that hard that it shakes, it physically shakes? Yeah, that was, that kept happening, and you could hear the cage wobbling and shaking, and me and Tyler were in hysterics in the end. And it was just like we both needed to walk away from it to get this darn thing to go together. I think in the end it took us about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just to put these tubes together. The cage went together lovely, like a dream, sort of. But the tubes, wow. So she's got one tube that leads, because her old cage has got 2 tube holes in. So she's got one tube that just leads pretty much straight from her old cage to a new one. And then the other tube leads from the top of her old cage. No, hang on. Does it?
What?
I've forgotten now.
What?
No, it doesn't lead from the top, no. There's a second... Oh, no, of course it doesn't. The second tube just goes from one side of the hamster cage, the new one, to the other, so she's got to go across this... It looks like a blinking assault course for hamsters, because he had more of the curved tubes than he had the straight ones. So it just looks like she's got one really long wriggly worm going across the top of her hamster cage from one side to the other. As soon as we put her in, I think she went through that tube 3 times in total. In one side, all the way out and down the other, back across, in the other side, out the other. Oh, she was having a whale of a time. We were looking into, you know, what to do for her, because she gets bored easy and she can climb at the balls. And I actually read on the RSPCA website they don't recommend hamster balls because that can stress a hamster out even more. Well, judging by the fact that she chews her way out constantly, I kind of think, yes, they're stressing her out. So the balls have gone. And Tyler's hamster actually likes, I have a throw that I put on my bed, or just a blanket. If you lay a blanket out and then fold over every edge into the middle, it creates like a tube around the outside for her. And she loves running around in there, and then she'll poke her head out, say hello, and then go back in again. She'll do another lap. She's dead cute. She's white and ginger. I think that's why Tyler picked her. But she is cute. We did have to put her in the ball just temporarily while we got the cage together because she kept climbing out the holes while we were trying to connect the tubes. We put her in the ball and Tyler says, I can smell hamster wee. Turn round, her ball is absolutely caked inside with hamster wee. So we put her in the bath. I did not wet the hamster. I did not put her in the bath. It was empty. I just put her in the bath in her ball. Took her out, gave her a wipe over with a few baby wipes because she stunk. And then we showered the ball out and put her back in the cage. Oh my days. She's one crazy hamster, I tell you. Mine was quite placid. She loved being out in her ball. Get her up in the morning when I got up, put her in a ball. She'd be out for an hour or so. And then it'd be like, yeah, I'm tired now. And she'd go to bed while I went to work. And then when I got home, I'd get her out again. I loved my hamster. She was a Syrian hamster, all white. But when I was looking for a second cage for her, oh my days, I don't know if any one of you has ever sort of gone on eBay or Amazon or whatever and looked up hamster cages. Let me just soon. I gave up with my lap stand. Anyway, I was looking into hamster cages on eBay and they showed you these cages and it said £10. I thought, oh, I'll have a look at that. I had a look at it and oh my gosh, it's so tiny. The hamster has no room to play at all. None. And I just think they are so cruel. Because you've literally got the house on the top shelf, because it's called a 3-story hamster house. You've got the top shelf with the bed on, which then has a ladder down to the next shelf, and a ladder from that one down to the bottom. And there's no room because the ladder and the bowl takes up everything. There's just enough room for a hamster wheel. She's got no room to walk around or do anything, and I just think if anyone buys them, they're cruel to the hamster unless you're going to get it out like a lot. Just awful. I mean, Tyler's hamster cage takes up quite a bit of floor space in his bedroom. Cages. And my hamster cage used to be quite big. I don't ever remember what I did with it. I know the hamster died, obviously. He only lasted about 2 years, but I don't ever remember what I did with the cage. Weird. I've unthreaded my needle. I apologise, that's the bin men, if you can hear that. I think I need to tie this in. So what have you guys been up to? Have you had a crazy week or quiet week? I'm trying to hold on to this. I wish you'd do that faster. It doesn't make so much noise then. Oops. A couple more. because it was Sampler September this month, the last few days I have literally only been working on my linen and threads. Not even my pandemic, that's a sampler. But last week I showed you guys I'd finished June. Yeah, and since last week's flush tube, I've actually finished July and August, so I'm almost caught up. I forgot scissors, have you got any? Ah, lend me then. Top. So yeah, I've only got September's to catch up on now. What have you done?
Could have done with the pot.
What? Oh, upside down.
Could have got the pot.
We'll just leave our threads on the table. I forgot my threads. Oh my god. It took us so long to sort out the blinking... Whoops, sorry guys. To sort out the camera, getting it set up so it had the right angle, and I forgot everything else that I needed. Scissors, threads, you know. What a wally. I'm such a numpty. Where's me doodah?
What?
My doodah.
Okay, well.
Me bobbins. I haven't bobbinated more because I'm only using the 310 and the thingy at the minute. I need to reload my 310. This cross stitch, I swear, is bombarded with 310 and 939. It's no fun. I'm living the 310 lifestyle. There we go. And yes, I'm in my pyjamas. I'm not going anywhere today. Alrighty then. So yeah, all that is 939 and 310 at the minute. All of it, apart from this obviously. So I'm just filling in all of this now with black. And it's driving me insane. So I'll do a bit of this and then I'll get my pandemic out after probably. Ow! Stabbed myself. Oh, putting those blinking tubes together this morning. I've had to cut all my nails off. I bent this thumb one back and completely snapped the corner off. Wow. Yeah, that hurt. Ellie and Tyler were both wetting themselves at me. I think Tyler managed to pinch his finger between the tubes when he was putting the end caps on. Tell you, it's been hilarious this morning. Got up, had an email. Your parcel, which was the cage, will be delivered between 10:28 and 11:28. So I thought, oh, I got plenty of time to get done what I need to get done. 9:28, there's a knock at the door. He was an hour early. So it was all hands on deck then to get it built. I just hope she appreciates it. Because my poor skin doesn't. It's just ridiculous. They make it look so easy to put these things together. I mean, the instructions were wrong for a start. The instructions said I had the base, which is like the tray, and then I should have had a wire, looks like wire bars like you put on the outside of the cage, but for the bottom to cover the tray. I didn't even have one. It's telling me I got stuff in there that I haven't even got. And why would I put a wire thing on the bottom of a hamster cage? She gets down in the wood shavings. Oh well, it's all done now. Never taken it apart. Told Tyler you can just get some baby wipes, some spray, empty it, wipe it out, put it back. No way am I taking that apart, because every Sunday Tyler cleans the cage. During the week he changes the bedding because she always seems to make that stink. And then on a Sunday he takes the cage apart, empties it, puts it in the bath, gives it a good clean out, a wash out, dries it, puts it back on. Now he's got the new one connected to it as well. You just spray that one. I'm not taking all them tubes off. That was a nightmare getting them on. Not a chance. And Ellie's wetting herself because she knows how much trouble I went to this morning. I gave her a cardboard tube to play with. She chewed it. Tyler, before he bought the cage, he had this big massive cardboard box that he'd put sawdust in. And like, he'd get her out of the cage and put her in there. She actually chewed the corner out of the box. She likes cardboard, I think. She was halfway through the cardboard on the side. It's thick cardboard. She was halfway out. I'm sure we've got an escape artist for a hamster. Tyler freely admitted, I won't be buying another hamster when this one's gone. Before we bought the cage, she only had the one cage. Well, it could have been any time of the day, depending what time she got up and came out the bed. But she'd chew the bars. She'd let him know she didn't want to be in there. And he says, it's not nice to sit and listen to that all evening while you're, doing what you want to do. Watching a film or whatever in your room on the Xbox. All you can hear is her gnawing on the bars. And then my hamster bite. It's healed. Sit still. You can see there's nothing there, but there's still a bump, and every time I put pressure on it, it still hurts. So I'm thinking she might have actually bit right to the bone, because her teeth are huge. Oh, right, I got a knot now. Did I tell you? I think, was it Riley or you? She yawned, and one of you went, oh my goodness.
Me?
Yeah, she saw, because when they yawn, you see the full extent of their teeth. How they fit them in their tiny little mouths is beyond me. So yeah, looking at that, she could have gone straight to the bone, and that might be why it's still a little bit sore when you put pressure on it. Anyway, that's been the highlight of my week, that has. Building a hamster cage, getting frustrated with it. And then watching her run through the tubes. At first, right, we put the tubes, because there was a hole on top of the new cage, so we put the tube connecting on top, and we connected one to the inside, and then we sorted out the rest of the tubes to put from the other two holes, but we forgot that we hadn't connected anything else to the roof tube, so there was quite a drop from the roof tube to the wood shavings at the bottom, until she stuck her head out the tube and says, right, I'm going to drop. While we were trying to connect, she'd been busy climbing over. So we took her out, put her back in her old cage, and carried on doing what we were doing. Instead of putting another tube on the end of the tube that was in the roof, we should have done that first. Because 2 minutes later, she was jumping out of it again. She needs a parachute, that hamster, I swear. I stand up and I've got her in my hands, and she tries to climb out my hands and drop. She's either suicidal or she's what do you call them? A stunt hamster. She's nuts, I tell you. It takes after Tyler. She spent too much time with him. Hey. I think I'm a row behind here. I am as well. I forgot to mark off the last row. It's all good. Yeah, I gave up with my lap frame. I tried putting The other little hoop isn't so bad. If I can buy that same hoop in a bigger size, I might be able to work with it. But this hoop right here is not very thick. So trying to get the grip to clamp onto there, it either ends up pushing this hoop down so your fabric pops up, or when you've screwed it in and it's tight, you let it go and it goes. And you have to then hold it manually up to stitch. So I tried putting a piece of cardboard sort of here so that the clamp had something to grip onto. Yeah, that didn't work either. So I'm either going to buy another hoop like the little one, which is fatter on the sides. Like this is half the size of the other one. It goes out like to there and it grips that one better. Or I'm going to buy, it's a different top. It's like a clamp rather than just a little screw nut thing. Because it'll fit my base. So I'll just have to buy the top really. So I'm just in two minds as to which way to do it. I mean, the cheaper way will probably be the hoop. You got leg ache? No?
No.
Moving. You've used that thread already?
I didn't get it very long.
Wow. Touch wood, guys, so far she's doing pretty well. She hasn't made a mistake on this one, I don't think. On that emblem, that logo, not logo. Motif.
Not on this one, then.
No, that's what I mean. She hasn't made a mistake on that motif yet.
Yeah.
It was just, she didn't use a click counter. She says, do you know what, I've had enough. I'm just going to count it all when I've finished for the day. Count all the stitches I've coloured. I know. And yesterday, I think she lost count twice. She got to, I think, 130.
131. And I guessed 130.
You guessed 130, so you would have been a stitch out, but that's not much. But yeah, she lost count a couple of times, and she's like, oh my God, can you guys be quiet? Because Riley, I swear to God, he's a chatterbox. He never... Yeah, you have to tell him, all right, come up for air now, Riley. He always wants to tell me about a video he's watched. Or he always wants to tell me about a new emote on Fortnite. And then he'll show me. He'll do his little dance. You go, that's what they do. I don't know what he finds to talk about. He does not leave the house. It's hilarious. I haven't given him Netflix. I've put Netflix on my old tablet and he's trotted off upstairs with that, so I won't hear from him for the next couple of hours at least. He's got into the series How to Train Your Dragon. He was so excited, bless him, when he realised there was quite a few seasons of that. Fill your boots, right, bye. He's quite happy to just not sit on his bed and watch. There we go. Better mark it off before I forget. That is correct, isn't it? Yes. I've got to do something though. This flipping fabric's giving me wrist ache. There's so much fabric balls up here. Makes my wrist ache from trying to hold the hoop. I do kind of rest it on my belly, but it's still not enough.
Oops.
Riley used to get excited as well when he knew I was working on his cross stitch. Now I just show him and he goes, eh, and off he trots. Charming. It's not so fussed now. I think he'll wait till he can see something starting to appear rather than all this black and blue. I was surprised how much 310 I've got through. I mean, I've only most of it, let me just check. Yeah, All of this is £9.39 and that. I've only filled in all this section here and that's all I have left of a whole skein of £3.10. Mind you, it is 2 strands over 1, so that's why. Carry on. Can't tell me you're bored this time because we're not diamond painting. Ow. So warm today. We've had a couple of days where it's been a bit cooler. And my other half, I tell you what, he's a sucker for strays. There's this cat that lives, I believe, in our street. Now our street is like 2 sides and about 30 houses, I think, in the entire street. That's just a rough guess. Anyway, I believe it lives in our street. And I think it's a she. But she's got these, she looks cross-eyed.
No?
Yeah, she does look cross-eyed. And she's constantly coming to our door. So Rob, being the sucker, gives her biscuits. Well, she keeps coming back now. Anyway, yesterday, she was in our back garden by the back door. So Rob put her some biscuits, gave her a fuss, and then came in. And I was in the kitchen doorway from the front room, and I went, And he turned round, and this stray cat is standing in our kitchen. Luna comes to the living room door, hisses, her fur puffs up so she looks like 10 times bigger. And then she spots Luna, meanders in really slowly, and then Luna does a really deep meow, and this poor cat did this really quiet meow back at her. Luna's not a problem. Luna will just hiss and meow at her. She won't go at her. Binks, on the other hand, is an entirely different ball game. So I was sort of, well, I'm glad he's out. Yeah, I swear to God, he's very intelligent, my cat. He came home right at that point and he saw her in the kitchen. His back went up. She went for him. They ended up scrapping by the back door. Binks ran off into the back garden. She pegged him. We managed to separate them in the end, but there was a lot of fur loss. It was flying around the garden.
Wasn't even from Binks either.
No, it was hers. So we're trying to be a bit... I don't think she's been back since, has she? She hasn't, has she? She's like, yeah, I'm not going back to that madhouse again. Actually, yes, she has. She was on the front doorstep this morning. I went out and gave her a fuss.
Well,
I know, I've just remembered.
you didn't tell me.
She didn't come to the back door, she came to the front.
You couldn't tell me.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not going to the back door. I know what happens when you go there. But she's so gorgeous. She's got a bit of way. I can't even describe it. She's got like... She's almost like a creamy blonde cat. It's really weird. But she's got these like tan stripes. She's absolutely gorgeous. And I just think, if she's got owners, they don't look after her because her eyes are, apart from being cross-eyed, they weep. She's got like, not watery eyes, but it's like she's got something that seeps from her eyes, bless her. And I don't want to cause trouble in my street by calling the RSPCA or taking her to the vets, because I don't know how that would work. I don't know if they'd know who brought her in. But on the other hand, you shouldn't have a pet if you can't look after it. I mean, Binks is costing me a fortune as it is, but I wouldn't be without him. His fur is starting to grow back now, so we are thinking it might have been mites. The fur on top of his head was pretty much not the full length of it, but the fur is there.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look so bald on his head now. Still looks a bit scrawny around the neck. But it's darkening up, which means the fur's coming back, so fingers crossed that's what it was. Because even his scabs are all healing up now and going. He's not producing any new ones, so yeah, fingers crossed. He's a right character though. He gets on with Luna. He'll pin her to the floor a few times and peg her around the house, but he doesn't go after her like he does the other cat. Oh, she's on the chair, fast asleep with her legs dangling. You're confused? What have you done? It's because you're not marking it off as you go. How do you know what's different from today and yesterday, or have you not marked any today?
Hmm?
You not marked any? Oh, you got your purple pen anyway. So you'll know it's different. And because she's not using the clip counter, she's taken to colouring it in there in different colours, so that she can count different days. So yesterday was green and today she's going to do in purple, I assume.
I missed something yesterday.
You missed something yesterday?
I didn't have by yesterday.
Yeah. And did you count it? Oh well, you put it on today's. Who cares? As long as you count right by the end of the week, it's alright.
Why did this go? We dragged it.
I actually got really frustrated with Riley's fabric because it's still so hard at the minute. So pushing the needle through hasn't been easy until now. So I whipped it out the frame this morning and I literally spent 10 minutes kneading it, screwing it up, scrunching it. And it's not much better, but it's better. The needle goes through a little bit easier. But I couldn't cope with it anymore. It was hurting my fingers. The needle was starting to create a crater on my finger that was getting sore.
Indent.
Yeah, and it was actually starting to dig into the skin. So I had to do something about it. Wow. Just realised I haven't put my glasses on again. I put them on my head and then I forget. And then I go to bed with an headache and wonder why. Because I'm an idiot. Don't know why you whisper, Ellie, because they can hear you.
I know.
Unless it's just me you don't want to hear what you said. Mm-hmm.
Was that her?
Yeah, she's just shifting about. She's had a stretch.
Nice.
I've gone really warm. I think I'm going to finish this section of the black.
Hello.
And then I'm going to change to my pandemic when we finish the video. Hello, Luna.
Up here. Nope.
Yeah, perhaps not. What's the matter? Shower time. There's nothing worse in the summer when she's laying on the back of the settee right behind my head, right by the open window, and she's cleaning, because all you can smell is cat breath. It's yeah, not so good. I can't see. There it is.
What do you mean you can't see?
It's hard trying to find the hole sometimes.
I've given up with my name at this point.
Why are you resting on the table? This is so heavy.
Are you telling me that's heavy?
Oh, this fabric is weighing on the other end.
Well,
I know. You got no chance on taking my Once Upon a Fairy Tale out my frame. Not a chance. Just to put this one in. So I'd have to keep switching back and forth. Yeah, no, that's not happening.
and buy a new bag.
No, they're like 45, 50 quid. No. I'll just change, either get a new hoop or change my the top of my lap stand.
Ow!
What's the matter with you? Is your bum aching now? These chairs, although they've got a leather sort of cushiony top on them, after a while,
Luna,
they're no good. They hurt.
please come here.
Have I done that one then?
Come here.
Oh, look, see, I haven't even marked off the last row. What do you do?
She's just sitting there
I
staring
have a
at
hand
me.
cramp. Hello.
Good on me.
Hello. Hello.
What?
Oh, sorry. Touched her ear, made her itch. Stop sketching. You're going to fall off there, you dozy mare. Your bag's right on the edge of the chair. That'll be funny. Not. Look, you're leaning even further back, Luna. You're making me nervous. Thank you. There's been a number of times where she's been asleep on the back of the settee, flat out asleep, and I've been sitting on the settee doing my cross stitch or whatever, and then all of a sudden she's fell off the back, and you just hear these claws trying to cling onto the settee, and then she gets up and looks at you like, who pushed me?
Oh, Bink.
Nobody.
Bye. He was on the window.
On our window. Where? I don't know why he's done that. The back door's open. In the middle of winter, obviously we don't leave the back door open when Binks has gone out. But if he wants to come in, he'll climb on the dining room windowsill. Bless you. He'll jump on the dining room windowsill outside and he lets you know he's there and he wants to come in. Well, he's just got on the windowsill. The back door's wide open. Silly. You had enough already?
No.
Is your arm hurting? Your eye's itching again. Did that tablet help the other day? Did the tablet help the other day? You have to go and take another one then. She keeps getting a really itchy eye and it's always the same one. And I've got some allergy tablets in the cupboard. And when she takes one, it goes. So I know it's an allergy. Don't know why you keep scratching. You've been debugged
What?
and flea treated. She hasn't got any anyway, would you know?
More, please.
I stay on top of flea treatments and stuff. Okay, have I not marked them? Yes. There's another row I forgot to mark off. I need to keep this down here so you guys can see. Hey? I know, yeah. We call it cat yoga when Luna gets into one of her positions to clean herself. And she ends up bent over and whatever. We call it cat yoga.
Ow.
Good arm ache. I'll switch you for my wrist. No, don't fall out, don't fall out. It fell out.
Nice.
Stay in the needle, just 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Yeah.
Mark that one off. You watch, this thread isn't, no it's not. I've only got them few more stitches to do and this thread's not long enough.
Nice.
Oh well. Time we on? You gotta come get a tablet anyway.
I'll get that in a minute. Ow.
Okay.
Ow. She just
What did
it right.
do there? Oh, it's fell out the needle again. I hate it when you get down to the last little bit of thread because you want to use as much of it as possible. It just keeps falling out the needle no matter what you do. She won't. She doesn't like being picked up. I have to tie that one in now. Can you see it? Luna! Say hello, sweetie. Ah. I can't even see. What time did you say it was? Just say it.
42.
Okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys go now. You can enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. Stay safe. Leave me any comments, any questions down below. Yeah, I will just catch you on Friday for FlossTube Friday. Take care, guys. Bye.